Today, we are going to explore a topic that sits at the very center of our human experience: love, partnership, and the delicate dance of compatibility. So many of us spend a significant portion of our lives searching for that elusive concept we call the one. We watch movies, we read novels, and we dream of a connection that feels effortless and destined. But what happens when we actually find someone? How do we know, deep in our intuition, if they are truly the person we are meant to walk this path with? It is a heavy question, isn't it? Sometimes, we find ourselves in relationships where we love the person, but something feels fundamentally out of alignment. While love is the fuel, compatibility is the road map. Studies and human experience both show us that compatibility is directly related to the quality, satisfaction, and longevity of our unions. Simply put, the more compatible you and your partner are, the happier and more peaceful you are likely to be. Now I want to be clear, nobody is perfect. We all have our quirks, our shadows, and our rough edges. We learn to compromise, and we grow to love people not in spite of their flaws, but often because of them. However, it can be incredibly difficult to differentiate between normal, healthy differences and fundamental incompatibility. So, if you are sitting there with a question mark in your heart, wondering if you and your significant other are truly a match, let us walk through 7 telltale signs that you might not be right for each other. Number 1 is that you simply do not get each other. Right from the very beginning, this can tell you a great deal about the fabric of your connection. Have you ever been with someone where you felt like you were speaking a completely different language, even though you were both speaking English? If you have a hard time understanding how they are feeling, what they are thinking, or what they need emotionally, then they might not be the match for you. And this goes both ways. If you feel like you are constantly explaining your heart and still not being heard, that is a sign. It is infinitely better to be with someone you can be in sync with. Imagine a partner who can pick up on your nonverbal cues. They see the slight dip in your energy and know you had a hard day. They discern the tone of your voice and know when you need comfort versus when you need space. They get what you are trying to tell them, sometimes before you even find the words. When this natural understanding is missing, miscommunication and misunderstandings begin to pile up like old newspapers in a hallway. Eventually, navigating that hallway becomes a chore rather than a joy. You deserve a love where you do not have to constantly translate your soul. Number 2 is that you are too different from each other. I know, we have all heard the old saying that opposites attract. And while there is a technical truth to that, sometimes a calm person balances an energetic person. Every solid, healthy couple should share at least a few fundamental similarities. This does not mean you have to like all the same music or enjoy the same obscure movies. It does not mean you need to share every single hobby. In fact, it can be refreshing and expansive to be with someone who introduces you to new worlds. However, the excitement of novelty does not last forever. If the similarities are too scarce or non-existent, once the new and shiny effect wears off, reality sets in. You are both left with someone who does not share your humor, your core interests, your values, your ideals, or your principles. If you value quiet weekends and deep conversation, and they value loud parties and superficial engagement, that friction will eventually wear you down. It becomes difficult to relate to one another in any meaningful way when your foundations are built on different continents. Shared values are the anchor that holds the ship steady when the storms of life roll in. Without that anchor, you are just drifting in different directions. Number 3 is that you try to change each other rather than growing together. This is a subtle but profound distinction. The hallmark of any strong, healthy relationship is having a partner who gives you the drive and motivation to change for the better. But here is the key. It must be something you want for yourself. It must be your idea, your desire, sparked by their inspiration, not their demand. If your partner is constantly expressing irritation or dissatisfaction with who you are right now, that is a heavy burden to carry. It is generally ineffective and completely unsustainable if you are forcing change on yourself solely because they want it and you do not. You have to want it for you. This applies to everything, whether it is the way you dress, the way you speak, your career path, or who you hang out with. Only you have the divine right to decide who you want to be. If you do not feel comfortable showing your true colors to your significant other, even in the safety of a private setting, this is a definite red flag. Love should feel like a warm light that helps you bloom, not a chisel that is trying to carve you into a different shape. If you feel like a project rather than a partner, it is time to reassess. You are not a house that needs renovation. You are a human being who deserves acceptance. Number 4 is constant or highly frequent arguing. It is perfectly normal and actually quite healthy to disagree with your partner from time to time. We are individuals with our own minds, and we did not choose this person so we could be with a clone of ourselves. Friction can create fire, and fire can be warm. However, disagreements become a massive problem when the arguing is constant and over even the tiniest of things. If you find yourselves battling over how to load the dishwasher with the same intensity as you would a moral crisis, something is amiss. Even unhealthier is fighting dirty. This includes shouting, name-calling, humiliation, holding grudges, and emotional blackmail. If your nervous system is constantly in a state of fight or flight around your partner, that is not love, that is stress. Being in a relationship with a partner who tends to bring out the ugliest, most defensive side of you is never good for your soul. Your partner should be your sanctuary, the place you go to escape the war, not the battlefield itself. If peace is the exception and conflict is the rule, your compatibility is fundamentally fractured. Number 5 is that you attain peace by avoiding all the problems. This is the opposite side of the coin from constant arguing, but it is just as dangerous. It is all about moderation. While constant fighting is obviously not ideal, it is also not good for a couple to never disagree about anything. A relationship that is completely silent is often a relationship that is slowly dying. You need to be honest and communicate openly with one another about how you feel, even if it is not in agreement with the other person. If you find yourself constantly pretending everything is okay, smiling when you want to cry, or blindly agreeing to the wants of the other person just to keep the boat from rocking, you are erasing yourself. This does not make the relationship stronger. It makes it hollow. Suppressing your true feelings to avoid conflict may result in a catastrophic blow-up later, or it may lead to a quiet, cold resentment that builds a wall between you. Conflict, when handled with love and respect, can be a positive, bond-building event. It is an opportunity to say, "I see things differently, but I still respect you." This leads to personal growth and a deeper mutual understanding. If you are afraid to speak your truth because you fear it will end the relationship, then the relationship is already on very fragile ground. Number 6 is that your socializing is isolated from everyone else. We often think of relationships as just being about two people, but we live in a web of connections. Do you find that when you and your partner go out, it is nearly always only with each other? No friends, no parties, no group hangouts. Do you never spend any time with their friends? Have you even met their friends? Is their family still a group of mystery people you have never been introduced to, even though you have been together for a while? If you answered yes to any of these questions, this could be a potential problem. It implies that your worlds are not merging. It is important that you spend time with your partner's loved ones and get to know them better, because those people are reflections of who your partner is. Couples who make the effort to be close with the other important people in their partner's lives tend to have longer and happier relationships. It creates a safety net of community around your love. If your partner keeps you compartmentalized, hidden away from the rest of their life, you have to ask yourself why. Are they ashamed? Are they uncertain? Or are you simply filling a temporary void? A compatible partner wants to show you off, wants you to laugh with their best friend, and wants you to know where they came from. Integration is a sign of long-term intention. Number 7, and this is lastly but most importantly, you are not attracted to them. I know this can be a sensitive topic. We are often told that looks fade and personality is everything. And while the emotional bond is crucial, even when everything seems perfect on paper, if you do not have any romance or chemistry, it is simply not going to work in the long run. Without even an inkling of those factors, you might have a wonderful best friend, you might have a great roommate, but not necessarily a significant other. The result is that you will naturally be drawn to other people you have that more than friends attraction to, which opens the door to heartbreak and confusion. There is a psychological concept called the triarchic theory of love, which states that complete love needs 3 components: intimacy, commitment, and passion. Without passion, the love you share will only be platonic, like the love shared between your friends and family. Passion does not mean it has to be fireworks every single day like a romance novel, but there should be a spark, a gravitational pull, a desire to be close to them physically. If you cringe when they touch you, or if the thought of intimacy feels like a chore, listen to your body. Your body often knows the truth before your mind is ready to accept it. In the end, my dear friends, there is no such thing as a perfect relationship. We are imperfect humans trying to love each other in a messy world. Everyone has doubts or disagreements at times with the person they love. A strong, healthy relationship takes ongoing effort, dedication, and time for it to grow. It is like a garden. You have to water it, weed it, and give it sunlight. But what is important is finding that someone who, to you, is worth that effort. Someone who makes the work feel rewarding rather than draining. First impressions and initial choices do not seal your fate. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to realize that the person you chose 5 years ago or 5 months ago is no longer walking the same path as you. Learning to know and recognize compatibility versus incompatibility will save you so much heartbreak. It will save you from spending years trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It can possibly avoid more serious emotional scarring down the line. So, take the time to evaluate your relationship with these key points in mind. Sit with them in silence. Ask yourself honestly, is my partner right for me? Do I feel expanded or diminished in their presence? Do I feel understood or confused? Honoring your own needs is not selfish. It is necessary. You deserve a love that feels like home, not a constant struggle. We hope you enjoyed this conversation and learned something new about yourself and the dynamics of love. Please like this video if it resonated with you and share it with someone who might need to hear these words today. Give us your feedback or comment below. Let us know what you would like to see next. We read your comments and we feel your presence. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more content designed to help you navigate your inner world with grace and wisdom. As always, thank you for watching and taking this short learning journey with us. I am sending you so much love and light as you navigate your own heart. You are worthy of a love that fits. Let us dig a little deeper into the concept of self-trust before we go, because I have a little bit more space to share with you, and this feels important. Often, the reason we stay in incompatible relationships is not because we do not see the signs. We see them. We see the lack of understanding, we feel the friction of being too different, we notice the isolation. But we stay because we do not trust our own judgment. We think, maybe I am being too demanding, or maybe this is as good as it gets. I want to tell you, firmly and gently, your intuition is a powerful compass. If something feels off, it usually is. We often gaslight ourselves into staying because we are afraid of being alone. But being alone is infinitely better than being in a relationship that makes you feel lonely. When you are alone, you are full of your own presence. When you are with the wrong person, you are constantly emptying yourself to try and fill the gap between you. Think about the sign regarding trying to change each other. This comes from a place of fantasy. We fall in love with the potential of a person rather than the reality of who they are standing in front of us. We think, if only they were a little more ambitious, or if only they were a little more affectionate. But loving potential is a dangerous game. You must look at your partner and ask, if they never changed a single thing from this day forward, would I be happy? If the answer is no, then you are basing your relationship on a fantasy, not on reality. And regarding the arguing, sign number 4. It is important to distinguish between constructive conflict and destructive conflict. Constructive conflict is us against the problem. Destructive conflict is me against you. In a compatible relationship, even when you are angry, you still care about the other person's feelings. You do not want to destroy them. You want to resolve the issue. If your arguments feel like a battle for dominance, where one person has to win and the other has to lose, that is a sign of deep incompatibility. Love is not a competition. Also, let us reconsider the social aspect, sign number 6. Our friends and family act as mirrors. Sometimes they can see things we cannot because we are too close to the situation. If your friends, people who love you and want the best for you, express concern about your relationship, or if they do not seem to get along with your partner, pay attention. You do not have to blindly follow their advice, but listen to their perspective. They might be seeing the red flags that you are painting white. Finally, a word on attraction. Attraction is not just physical, it is energetic. It is the desire to be near someone, to share space with them. It can ebb and flow over a long relationship. That is normal. But the baseline should be a magnetic pull. If you feel repelled or neutral or indifferent, that is your body telling you that this person might belong in the friend category, not the partner category. And that is okay. It does not mean they are a bad person or that you are shallow. It just means the chemistry is not there. Remember, admitting that you are incompatible is not a failure. It is a success. It is the success of recognizing the truth. It is the success of freeing both yourself and the other person to find the connections that are truly meant for you. Holding on to the wrong person prevents you from meeting the right one. It blocks the flow of your life. So, be brave. Trust yourself. You know what you need. You know what makes you feel safe, loved, and seen. Do not settle for anything less than a love that feels like a favorite sweater, warm, comfortable, and exactly your size. Thank you again for being here. Your growth is a beautiful thing to witness. Take care of your heart. It is the most precious thing you own. Until next time.